Hello and welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. We're here to dive into something really exciting, English expressions. These little phrases can be a huge help in making your English sound more natural. I'm Emma.
And I'm Max. Yeah, expressions are like little keys that help you open up a whole new world of understanding. Once you learn a few, you'll find they pop up everywhere. Let's start simple. What is an English expression, Emma?
Great question, Max. So an expression is just a group of words that has a special meaning together. You can't always understand it just by looking at each word separately. For example, if I say, "It's raining cats and dogs," it doesn't mean animals are falling from the sky, right?
Exactly. It means it's raining really, really hard. This is what we call an idiom, a type of expression with a unique meaning. Sometimes idioms can sound funny if you take them literally, but they're a fun part of learning English.
Yes, and learning them can also help you understand native speakers better. They add color to conversations too. Let's start with a few simple expressions that you can start using right away. Max, what's one of your favorites?
I'd say break the ice. This doesn't mean you're literally breaking ice, right? It means to start a conversation, especially with someone new. For example, you might say, "I didn't know anyone at the party, so I tried to break the ice by introducing myself."
Yes, breaking the ice helps make things comfortable. It's perfect for those first few minutes when you meet someone and things might feel awkward. Another good one to know is a piece of cake. Do you know this one, Max?
Definitely. When we say something is a piece of cake, we're saying it's easy to do. For example, if someone asks, "Was the test hard?" you might say, "Oh, it was a piece of cake." It doesn't have anything to do with actual cake. Of course, it's just a way to say something was simple.
Right, and expressions like these help you express yourself in new ways. Let's think of another. How about costs an arm and a leg?
Good one, Emma. When something costs an arm and a leg, it's super expensive. Imagine paying so much that it feels like you're giving up an arm and a leg. Pretty extreme. For example, the new phone costs an arm and a leg, so I'll wait until it's on sale.
Perfect. It's a fun way to say something is really pricey. Let's share another. What about under the weather?
Oh, that's a good one. If someone says they're under the weather, it means they're not feeling well. Maybe they have a cold or are just tired. For example, "I couldn't go to work today because I'm feeling a bit under the weather." It's a polite way to say you're not at your best.
Yes, expressions like these make everyday conversations more interesting. Let's try a few more to get our listeners even more familiar with these. What do you think about hit the books?
I love that one. If someone says, "I have to hit the books," it doesn't mean they're hitting anything. It means they need to study hard, usually because they have a big test or an important assignment. You might hear someone say, "I'm hitting the books all weekend to prepare for exams."
Exactly, and it's a great one for students. Another common expression that people might hear is in hot water. What does that mean, Max?
If you're in hot water, it means you're in trouble. Imagine the feeling of being in actual hot water. It's not comfortable. For example, if you forget your homework, you might be in hot water with your teacher.
Expressions like these really add color and personality to English. And you can start practicing by listening and maybe even using them with friends. Let's do one more for today. What about spill the beans?
A classic. To spill the beans means to accidentally tell a secret. For example, if you tell everyone about a surprise party before the party, you spilled the beans, so you're basically revealing information you weren't supposed to.
Exactly. These expressions add so much life to our language, and they help connect people by giving more meaning to our words.
All right, everyone, let's dive back in. Today, we're continuing our journey with English expressions. We hope you're finding them fun and helpful so far. Expressions like these are everywhere in English, and understanding them can really boost your confidence. Emma, want to start us off with a new expression?
Sure, let's talk about hit the nail on the head. This one is super common. When you hit the nail on the head, it means you got something exactly right. Imagine hammering a nail. If you hit it right on top, you're being very accurate. You could say, when you said he's hardworking, you hit the nail on the head.
That's a good one, Emma. It's great for moments when someone says something that's just so accurate. Another one I think is fun and useful is sit tight. Now, this doesn't mean you're literally sitting tightly. It's more of a way to say, wait patiently, like the doctor will call you soon, just sit tight.
Yes, that one is great for telling someone to be patient. Alright, here's another. The ball is in your court. When the ball is in your court, it means it's your turn to make a decision or take action. Imagine you're playing a game of tennis. If the ball's in your court, it's your move. For example, I already told her how I feel, so now the ball is in her court.
That's so useful, Emma. I like how expressions like these make conversations flow more naturally. Another one that's handy is bending over backward. It means to make a lot of effort to help or please someone. You might hear someone say he bent over backward to make his boss happy. It's almost like you're stretching yourself just to be helpful.
Oh, that's a great one, and you're right. It's about going out of your way to be helpful. Here's another good one. Pulling someone's leg. This one's a bit playful. It means joking or tricking someone in a harmless way. So, if I said, I saw a UFO in the backyard, and then I say, just kidding, I was pulling your leg, it's clear that I was only joking.
Nice one, Emma. I think humor is so important in any language. Here's one that's also about being a bit playful. Let the cat out of the bag. This means accidentally revealing a secret. For example, we planned a surprise party for Sarah, but John let the cat out of the bag by accident. It's like saying the secret is out now.
Yes, that's a classic. And it's such a fun way to say someone accidentally told a secret. Okay, let's try another. How about a blessing in disguise? This one means that something seemed bad at first but turned out to be good later on. Like, losing that job was a blessing in disguise because it helped me find a better one. It's a positive way to look at difficult situations.
Great one, Emma. Sometimes things that seem bad do turn out to be good in the end. And I like how this expression helps us see the positive side of things. Here's one more, cut to the chase. It means to get straight to the point without any extra details. Like, we're short on time, so let's cut to the chase. This can be useful when you want someone to focus on the important part.
That's a really useful one. And here's another popular one, burning the midnight oil. This means staying up very late to work or study. Imagine using all lamps to work at night back in the day. You might say, I had to burn the midnight oil to finish my project.
That's great. You often hear students using that one. Speaking of students, here's another one that's helpful. The tip of the iceberg. It means that what you see or know is only a small part of something much bigger. For example, that problem is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more we need to handle.
Yes, so it's like saying there's more below the surface. Let's try one that's a bit dramatic. Bite the bullet. This means to do something you really don't want to do but have to. For example, I didn't want to move, but I had to bite the bullet because it was for my job. It's a way to say you're accepting a tough situation.
True. It's a brave-sounding expression. Here's another popular one, on the same page. This is when you and someone else understand each other or agree. You might hear, let's make sure we're all on the same page before the meeting. It's like saying everyone's on the same team or thinking in the same way.
Oh, that's a very positive one. Let's try beat around the bush. It means avoiding the main point or being indirect. Imagine if someone is talking but not really getting to the point. That's beating around the bush. For example, stop beating around the bush and tell me what happened.
Good one, Emma, and here's another. Hit the ground running. This means to start something with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. For example, she joined the company and hit the ground running. It's a way to say you're starting strong.
Excellent! I think all of these expressions give so much personality to our conversations. Once you start using them, you'll see how they add energy and clarity to English. And they're also helpful for understanding what people mean beyond the exact words.
All right, everyone, let's jump back in. We've got more interesting English expressions to go through. By now, you probably see how these expressions help bring conversations to life and make you sound more natural. Ready for a few more, Emma?
Absolutely, Max. I love how expressions make English feel more expressive. Let's kick off with a fun one. The last straw. This expression is about reaching a limit, like when a small thing happens that just makes you lose your patience. It's like when he was late again. It was the last straw, and I decided to talk to him about it. It's that one final thing that pushes you over the edge.
That's a good one. It's useful for those moments when you feel like you've put up with a lot, but one last little thing is just too much. All right, here's another common one. Through thick and thin. This means being there for someone no matter what, in good times and bad. For example, we've been friends through thick and thin. It's all about loyalty.
Yes, it's about staying together, even when things get tough. Another one that has a similar feel is a shoulder to cry on. This means being someone others can go to when they're feeling sad or having a hard time. You might hear someone say, "She was a shoulder to cry on when I needed it most."
That's a really supportive expression, and it's great for showing you're there for someone. Here's one I think everyone can relate to: bite off more than you can chew. It means trying to do more than you can actually handle. For example, I thought I could take extra classes and work part-time, but I think I bit off more than I could chew.
Oh, that's so true for a lot of people. It's easy to overestimate what you can do. Here's another one that's useful. Go the extra mile. This means putting in extra effort to do something really well. For example, he went the extra mile to make his presentation look amazing. It's a positive way to show dedication.
I like that one. People appreciate it when you go the extra mile. Here's another common one, in the same boat. It means being in a similar situation as someone else. You could say, "Don't worry about feeling nervous." We're all in the same boat. It's a way to say that people understand because they're experiencing the same thing.
Yes, it's comforting to know others are facing the same situation. Here's one with a bit of mystery. The ballpark figure. This means an estimate or rough idea of a number. For example, I don't know the exact cost, but I can give you a ballpark figure. It's not precise, but it's close enough to give someone an idea.
That's a great one for casual conversations about numbers. And here's one that I find funny: let your hair down. It means to relax and be yourself, especially after working hard. If someone says it's the weekend, time to let your hair down, they mean it's time to enjoy yourself.
That's a nice one, Max. It reminds us to have fun after a long week. Here's another useful one. On cloud nine. It means feeling extremely happy, like you're floating on a cloud. You might say, "When I heard the good news, I was on cloud nine." It's a great way to describe a joyful moment.
Perfect. It's nice to think about those happy times. Let's look at one that's a bit more practical: cut corners. This means to do something quickly by skipping some steps, usually to save time or money, even if it's not the best quality. For example, they built the house quickly, but they cut corners, so it wasn't very sturdy. It's often used in a negative way.
Yes, cutting corners can lead to problems in the long run. And here's another one related to work. Hit the jackpot. This means to have great success, often unexpectedly. For example, when her small business took off, she really hit the jackpot. It's a lucky or successful outcome.
I like that one. It's always fun to think about unexpected successes. Here's one that's a bit different: the elephant in the room. This means a big, obvious issue that people are avoiding or ignoring. For example, no one wanted to talk about the elephant in the room, the missed deadline. It's about addressing something important that everyone knows but isn't talking about.
Such a useful expression. And here's another good one. Jump the gun. This means to do something too early, before you're ready. For example, he jumped the gun by announcing the news before it was official. It's like starting before you're supposed to.
Good one, Emma. It's like getting ahead of yourself. And here's one more, throw in the towel. It comes from boxing and means to give up or stop trying. If you say, after failing the test twice, he threw in the towel, it means he decided to stop.
Yes, sometimes it's okay to throw in the towel if something isn't working out. Alright, let's do one last one to wrap up. Add fuel to the fire. This means doing or saying something to make a bad situation even worse. For example, instead of apologizing, he added fuel to the fire by arguing back. It's a warning to avoid making things worse.
That's a perfect one to end with. Expressions like these give English so much life. We hope this podcast has helped you unlock the power of English expressions and feel more confident using them.
Yes, thank you for joining us today. Remember, learning expressions is like adding tools to your English toolbox. The more you know, the more you can express yourself in all kinds of situations.
And if you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share this episode with your family and friends. We love helping you on your English journey, and we're here to keep it interesting and fun.
That's right. Keep practicing, keep learning, and soon you'll be speaking with more confidence. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.
Goodbye, everyone.